Welcome back to another episode of the Ministry of Truth. I am your number one host on this show. I am pretty much your only host on this show because anybody else would automatically get fired. Let that finish blinking because that's Rumble being really fucking slow when it comes to catching up with the stream. There we go, Rumble. Good for you. Good morning, Zippity. So I was going through, Patrick Bet David came out with a podcast video this morning talking about young child being groomed at the age of 10 to being a spy and being trafficked by billionaires. And guess what? She wants to name billionaires. Let's see if she names any billionaires that we know. But before we get into that, A-Cops, good to see you. Need to play, good little music to get us in the mood. It's Monday morning, and why not? Let's start it out with a conspiracy. Oops. Oh, fuck me.
Wordplay, activate. Why you always cynical? Hit you with some change just so I can knock some sense in you. If you paid attention, it would cost you just a penny for your thoughts, and now I'm spreading like the gossip in your middle school. We in a mental prison, convicted of repetition. You only empowered till you power on your television. We in a decade where everybody is sensitive, and if you get offended, you raise attention till tensions build it. If it ain't politically correct, it's when you make waves. I spawn the wave so I can try to change your wavelength. Look, you chemically imbalanced and you probably depended on medicine. It puts the harm into pharmacy. You introducing toxicity to our bodies with the food and the water you provide us, and this is comedy. That you trust the FDA as they work along with the pharma to poison us, diagnose us, prescribe us to begin profit.
I thought my spell check was wrong.
We've been brought up by the world's elites and the blood runs deep. It's a new world order. Somebody wake me, please, from the American dream. I said we've been brought up by the world's elites and the blood runs deep. It's a new world order. Somebody wake me, please. I've been studying statistics like
what up, Yeti?
The truth is in the water, but the water's what the problem is. Look, I am anonymous, signing on and you following, searching for a high while I'm searching for a higher consciousness. The bottom line is that we've been focused on everything that's technologically inclined, and it's been blinding us. It's more symbolic than Masonic trigonometry. You trying to find a balance like you swallowing Klonopin, huh? I am enlightened in the thought that we've been darkening the minds of the masses. It's like we've all become robotic. It's demonic. The monsters that monitor you have been targeting you by the products you bought, or simply by the monopoly. A lot of these controlled oppositions make a mockery about falsifying these topics like the Illuminati, but the blood runs thick when it's been drawn with the phlebotomy. We need a closer look than today's modern day astronomy, huh?
No, mine's in live chat, but it's also on a different screen.
It's a new world order. Somebody wake me, please, from the American dream. I said we've been brought up by the world's elites and the blood runs deep. It's a new world order. Somebody wake me, please. You go against the biggest lies, then lose. The biggest lie then becomes about you. I said, you go against the biggest lies, then lose. The biggest lie then becomes about you. Try to dumb me down, there's nothing that can reverse it. It goes deeper than researching and just scratching the surface. The water that you drink contains a hazardous waste extremely near.
All right, so we're going to get into a couple of videos today. That was a delayed hit. I've heard of chicory. I don't think I've ever drank it. Anyway. Oh, wow. Maybe they just don't like me. Anyway, first video we're going to get to is something that's near and dear to my heart because, well, it's some more 2024 exposures of stolen valor. And then after that, we got another video about a retard in, I can't remember which college it is, getting into a debate with, I believe, Officer Tatum. And this kid's arguments just make me want to go drink bleach. And then we've got a whole 2-hour video, if you guys are still here for that, of Patrick Bet David, like I said, with, I can't remember the chick's name. Give me 2 seconds. A next something. I just don't really like fooling all that. Fuck it. Anyway. Oh, that might be it, Yeti. I mean, anything we can say it is. But like I said, this first video, it's about 20 minutes of people who, 10 minutes, sorry. 10 minutes who like to go around saying, hey, check out what I just bought at the Army surplus store. But I can order it on the internet, so that's the same thing, right? Right?
We're a military family. I
Yes,
don't know
that's
that,
right.
But I just don't like
That's
talking to
right.
kids like that.
Stolen valor? Stolen valor, really.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
fix the patch and then we'll be all right.
What?
Fix the patches and that's it. These guys know what the patches mean. Fix them.
None of those
Yeah,
patches
because
matter.
if you were in the uniform, just
Okay,
wear it right.
no, you fix it for me.
No.
What kind of burger is
You
that?
have to fix it. That's why you have to teach these kids. If you want the uniform,
I understand.
follow the rules. These kids know. That's why they know this.
And so
That's it. That's it.
All right, guys, just let's go.
All right, bye. Tell that fucking stolen valor bitch.
Stolen valor.
Hey, what's that one?
Buddy, I'm gonna flatten your ass.
Whoa.
My pleasure, guys. You sure it's not stolen valor?
Huh?
You sure it's not stolen valor?
Why do you think that?
It's
Obviously, we don't put gloves up there.
Try this.
Everybody cannot use this uniform.
You zip up right there.
Really? Yeah, come it says
turn
Air
it on
Force
off,
fatigues.
right?
This is not real. This is not real.
You're full of crap.
And you've got
You're full of
it on the t-shirt.
S-H-I-T.
F-16.
You're full of
F-16, that says F-35. F-16, how are you like multiple squadrons? And then you got
because you're full of
Wouldn't you have a flight
airlift,
uniform?
that's cargo. And
Yeah,
what's that
and-
one?
buddy, I'm gonna flatten your ass.
I'm a minor. If you hit me, my dad's a cop, so.
Good. So what? You
Nice
use
badge,
me a
faggot.
stolen
Doesn't
valor
even
one more
say
time, I will
you.
flatten your ass.
Oh, okay.
100%. If I call security for you harassing me right
Call
now.
security.
I got video of you threatening
You just
to hit
threatened
me.
to flatten his
I
ass.
didn't.
Yes, you did. I have
No,
a
I
video.
didn't.
He has fucking
I said if you antagonize me some more, where's your cop dad? Because
Where's my
he'll
cop?
correct you.
You want me to go get my cop dad? He was a veteran. He served in Iraq. He's a
Me
real
too.
veteran.
Numerous
Good for
times.
him. I don't think your cop dad taught you how to be polite.
He taught me to respect our veterans and not stolen valor. That's what we were just fucking on
I'm a
saying.
mother pilot. Get your
Whoa.
face.
Nah, I was an Air Force pilot. You should know that.
I've been to here, have you?
You should know that.
And I'm a veteran. Did you serve, young man? Then shut up. Did you serve?
Did you serve?
You didn't.
Okay, I'm not old enough, but that is stolen valor. Yeah, Air Force's patches from like 15 different squadrons on the Army
Oh, no.
ABU.
Valor? Stolen valor, really?
Yeah.
The promise you can trust, because of course the promise is one thing, Vernon, it's whether it comes true or not, as we know. So then we have the thing called stolen valor. This is a fascinating story. The chief constable of Northamptonshire Police was wearing medals for years, and one thing led to another, and it turned out that a number of them weren't real.
Oh, check this out. I
One
had
of
a
them
sergeant
was
major. He was the first time when I first met him, Ratley. I'm going to say his name. Was it Ratley? No, it was the Marine. But I can't remember this motherfucker's name for the life of me. He was a Marine, became an Army nurse. Then he went, he had to go to Sergeant Major Academy right after IPCS, went to a different place. And apparently he had awards he was not authorized. And the reason he got caught is because when you have to do your final paper at the end of the Sergeant Major's course, he plagiarized it. And now he's doing time in a federal prison.
he claimed was his brother's who fought in the Falklands. Actually, his brother hadn't. And the medal that he wore, supposedly from his brother, had only been applied for a year ago. Bottom line, the guy's been fired. And there's a real issue, this, of people wearing medals they didn't earn and turning up at public events in particular. This guy's been disgraced by it. But it's not against the law. So we're going to talk to a wonderful man called Tom Herring, Sergeant in the 3rd Battalion Parachute Regiment during the Falklands, and is chairman of the South Atlantic Medal Association, who keeps a very close eye on this.
It's very, very disrespectful, in my opinion.
Very much so.
Tonight, Representative Troy
Yo,
Nell of Fort Bend County is...
I did not fucking know this, and now that I know this, fuck you, Troy. Fuck you right in your asshole. I'm gonna flatten your ass. I don't really think that works in that situation.
is no longer wearing a military badge the Army ruled he was not qualified to wear.
Now, we've been reporting on this story all month. The Army revoked his award last month, but Nels kept wearing it, drawing heavy criticism. Victor Jacobo has been reporting on the story from the beginning. Victor, what happened today?
Yeah, Len and Cheryl, a group of reporters on Capitol Hill went up to Representative Troy Nehls today to ask him about the issue. That's when they noticed that he was not wearing the combat infantryman badge on his lapel. That is at the center of this controversy. Nehls maintains that because of the rarity with which these military awards are revoked, he believes that it's a politically motivated attack on him.
This council actually has a legitimate concern because he felt he's been singled out.
Wait, Jody had one.
Politically persecuted. Well, if you can't figure 47 out of 152,496, go figure. And that's why enough
But
said.
setting all that aside, you're not wearing the pin today. So
Well, because you guys are vultures. They're vultures.
Are you not going to wear it anymore?
Because you're never going to spend your... If I stop wearing that pin, what are you going to talk to me about?
Now, Nehls was awarded the Combat Infantryman Badge, or CIB, in 2008, but following a review of his military record by the Army in 2023, it was revoked. Despite that, Nehls continued to wear the...
That's not possible. Because if that was the case, anybody else that earned that combat infantry badge with him needs to have their shit revoked as well. Because it's not an individual. Well, for the medic badge it is. But for infantry badge, as long as you're in that platoon, squad, infantry, well, it has to be in that platoon, and they earned that CIB, you also, that CIB is earned. Because you literally took fire in combat. But for them to wait till 2023 to say, oh, we need to revoke that, something doesn't make sense there. That really doesn't make any sense to me now that I think about it.
Award on his lapel as a member of Congress. That drew accusations of stolen valor, but Nehls believed he was being targeted for his political stances. A reporter for Politico who reported on Nehls no longer wearing the CIB today spoke with KHOU and said the pressure on
Dominic?
Nehls
How you
went
doing, man?
beyond just the media and veterans groups, but from Capitol Hill as well.
It's a lot of his own colleagues that have been kind of calling him out for wearing this. They were the ones that used the phrase stolen valor initially. So the congressman's trying to blame the media, but it's many of his own Republican colleagues who have been frustrated by the fact he's still wearing this.
A spokesperson for the 101st Airborne Division
Air assault.
told KHOU earlier this week the division follows the Army's regulatory guidance on awards. Now, today we noticed Nehls had changed his profile pictures on his Facebook and X accounts. His previous profile picture had him wearing the CIB on his lapel. The new ones, he is without it.
101st rarely ever
in
revokes
Houston,
them.
Victor Jacobo,
That's
KHOU
strange.
11 News.
Another turn in the story. Victor with the latest. Thank
Something
you.
does not make sense.
Getting homeless people off the street over Christmas.
So what are you in military uniform for?
There's the Rex Forces.
Huh?
There's the Rex
The Rex
Forces.
Forces.
I'm not.
What, where's your ID?
Fucking Brit.
Yours is there, so how come this guy's operated?
It's his news brand.
You ever
Just
said about
started.
Brit? La 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 la. No one gives a fuck since 1776.
What we're doing? Yeah, we're out of an organisation. We're helping people.
I was badass. 17 years old, joining the Marine Corps.
Oh yeah.
18 years old, the first time going to Fallujah, I grabbed someone was shooting at me in a bus, so I fucking threw a grenade in there. And just,
Not in Fallujah.
I had to go confirm those kills, and I've never seen someone die before for concussion.
Well, concussion doesn't blow your brain out.
In that bus?
28.
You had to count them?
I had to count them. That was the first day I went to war. I was there for 19 months.
Not
After
possible.
that,
You lying little faggot.
I've literally killed thousands of people.
I literally want to take
I'm not
a
proud
pad
of it.
or lock, right?
I don't
Put it
like
through
it.
that fucking gauge of yours. Lock it.
It haunts
Melt
me
the
every
key.
day.
Was it 101st? Jilly? See? See? Maybe we can make you a 101st groupie. We'll call it groupie as opposed to proxy. All right, let's get this next video. This is from a college campus. I can't remember what campus. Hold on, let me see if it says it. But Officer Tatum was doing threat to democracy speaking for Turning Point, and it does not say the college. And the fact this dude is Asian, I don't claim him. We actually traded him. I'm not sure who we traded him to, but at this point, I really don't give a fuck because he doesn't belong. He's not smart.
Said peacefully and patriotically, let your voice be heard.
No, it's in the middle of it.
What else he say? What does he say? What did he say?
Well, there's a plenty of things he didn't say and didn't do while they were breaking in.
There's 100,000 plus people at his rally or whatever you want to call it. There was over 100,000.
Am I missing something about questions? Out of like that. So a good topic while they were. What do you mean? Commit stolen valor? As a pred? I'm not understanding the question.
1,000 people. If Donald Trump said, go and storm the Capitol, there would be nothing that the government could have done to stop it. 100,000 people storming the Capitol?
Oh,
he
you
didn't
guys
tell
get
people
to
to
the
do that.
video.
Some idiots decide they're going to do that on their own volition. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Do not miss America Fest 2024. It's happening December the 19th through the 22nd at the Phoenix Convention Center right here in my home city. Get ready to hear from top speakers, including myself, Tucker Carlson, Matt Gaetz, whom I love. I met Matt Gaetz in person. That dude is just as cool as he is when you see him on the television. We got Don Trump Jr. and many more of the nation's top speakers. You'll connect with thousands of patriots, enjoy live concerts, and develop leadership skills that will energize you to make a difference in your community. Secure a spot today. Use promo code Tatum and get 25% off general admission at ampfest.com. See y'all at America Fest. Let's go.
My name's Kevin.
Kevin.
Your name's Randall?
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. Brandon, you were a police officer, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
You believe in the rule of law?
Yes, I do.
You think America is a great country?
Best country on earth. That's why we out here.
Support a president that has 34 felony convictions? How can you support a president that wishes to undermine America's position internationally?
How does he wish to undermine America's position internationally?
Oh, he wants 20% sweeping tariffs across all countries. And he wants targeted tariffs, 60% on China. How does tariffing Sweden help international security when we undermine our allies?
So
he thinks our allies take the most advantage.
Do we have
of us.
tariffs in place right now? Yes, we do.
Absolutely,
The tariffs that we have in place, weren't they Trump's tariffs from when he was in office? Yes, they were.
Yes, they were capped, yes.
So why all of a sudden, when Trump is saying that he's going to have tariffs in place, or he's going to advance the tariffs that are already in place, how come that's undermining, but yet the administration that's in power right now is implementing and keeping the tariffs that Trump had from the very beginning? Why is it okay for them and not okay for him?
Trump's previous tariffs were targeted towards China. Now
Why
we're
not
targeting
China?
Sweden, France, the UK, because Trump is so senile that he believes tariffing all of our allies is somehow good economic policy.
Hold on, I was on the phone call. Did he say anything worth substantial? I'm just kidding. I already watched this. He hasn't said shit yet.
Well, maybe you're wrong.
How am I wrong? He said that.
If you look at his success, not only as a businessman and as a president,
he's not successful.
And we look
his
at
what's up, Joni?
businesses go bankrupt. All of his businesses go bankrupt. This dude dodges the draft. This guy does not believe in any institution that America stands for.
If his business was bankrupt.
Hey, buddy. So, I get it. You're in college and you're 18 to 25 and you live in the United States of America. Are you an American citizen? And if so, have you registered for selective service? Because you might need it. You might need to fill some spots, bitch.
How would he?
Rockstar, good to meet you, brother.
Let me explain this to you. If you got any common sense or you know anything about business, it's a way to leverage the government. It's a way to leverage in bankruptcy. So when you have a business and it's going under or it's not profiting, you can use bankruptcy as an outlet. Every businessman does that. If the man was just going bankrupt, he didn't have no money, how would they be able to sue him and ask for hundreds of millions of dollars? Mar-a-Lago alone is probably worth $1 billion. The man got a ton of money. He's flying.
Mar-a-Lago was originally supposed to be the summer home for the White House. It was the summer or winter White House.
his private jet. You see that jet? If the man ain't no money, how he got a jet? How does he have Trump Tower in 3 or 4 cities? The man got money. You're foolish. You don't understand. Listen, you don't understand how economics work. If you want to talk, get to the mic. You don't understand how economics works. You don't understand how businessmen use bankruptcy to benefit themselves. Everybody does it. Donald Trump is just a part of that. The dude is a successful businessman. Talk to any businessman, they'll tell you he's successful. That's why he has money, he has an economic plan that helped America when he was president. That's why right now he's polling in many places better than Kamala Harris.
Oh, this is before
if the man was truly a felon, if he truly was a bad businessman, he would have been terrible as a president. He wouldn't even be able to be on the ballot today. Why do people believe that he's better for the economy than the current administration? Because he was. Why is he not in jail right now? Why is he not in jail? He got 45,000 felonies.
Let's go
That's
one
a
by
political
one.
stunt. He is not in jail right now because it was a political stunt that they wanted to do during an election year. If the man did all the crimes they claim he did, why didn't they get him the year he was out from president? 2 years out, 3 years out. They wait till an election year to try to damage his name. The man is still not in jail, and he's still running for president.
All right, Zip.
So if he, okay, I'm finished. Go ahead.
Let's go one by one.
Okay.
Why does Trump still have enough money? Trump sells his image. He sells a personality. He doesn't sell anything.
mean, if
All
I
of his
could, I
actual
would.
physical businesses are not sound. His Taj Mahal, his casinos, they actually just fail over and over, but he thrives because he loves conning people. He's conned the American people.
How?
Look, wait,
How
why
did
do
he
you
come to
think
American
okay,
people? How did he come to American people? He didn't con me.
He sold us that his economy was the greatest.
It was.
It was.
No.
It was better than it is now?
What happened 2 years? What happened in 2020? What happened? What happened? What happened?
COVID?
What happened?
Yeah.
COVID?
Who was selling? Who was selling?
Donald Trump conned
Who was
with
selling
COVID?
ivermectin?
Dude,
Who was
this guy
selling
really
COVID?
thought he had him.
COVID was a business strategy that Trump did wrong. How does he control COVID? How?
By believing it's not real and
He
enabling
believed
it
it
to
wasn't
spread.
real. He shut the country down for 2 weeks to slow the spread with Dr. Fauci. Were you not
Eventually,
there?
when everyone was knocking on his
Were
door,
you not there?
when everyone was knocking on his
Remember
door
2
to
weeks to
actually
slow the
shut it
spread?
down.
That ended up being 2 years? Do you understand that states have the rights to do what they want to do in their own state? Donald Trump don't have it. They can't tell people to do anything. He encouraged us. 2 weeks to slow the spread. Everybody participated. California state shut
When it
down.
was
Washington
already
state shut
too
down.
late.
What you mean it's already
Dude,
too late?
epidemiologists
mean
do
it's
not
too
agree
late?
with
When was
you.
the first-
I want to fact
when
check
was
your
the
screen
first-
up here just to say.
When was the first
almost
person
every claim
diagnosed?
you're saying needs
What
to be
month
checked.
was the first person diagnosed?
I don't recall.
Oh, no, you talking. You want to look it up? Want to ChatGPT it?
No, I wouldn't use
It was in
ChatGPT.
February. The first person was in February. Trump had the thing shut down by March.
Yeah, but people had in
Trump
October,
shut
November,
off
and they didn't
travel
even know it
to
was
European
COVID.
countries, and they said he was a racist. They shut off travel to China. They said he was a racist. He said the virus came from a Wuhan lab. They said he was a racist. Are they going to apologize for that? We know where it came from, and it was right that he shut down. Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats was telling people, come on downtown. It's not a big deal.
But
When
she
Trump
did
said it was a
shut
big
down
deal,
an
they said it
entire
wasn't.
city.
Do you
Had them shut down an entire city so she can get a private haircut. It's
do not know your fact? Do you need the fact check? Go look it up. Nancy Pelosi said, come on down. It's not a big deal.
I don't have a.
It was in
if people
Chinatown.
say he's racist just because he shuts down airport travel. I don't agree with that. They say he's racist because he calls it the China virus. That's what they call him.
Where'd it
racist.
come from?
Was it from China?
If you want to call it the China virus because it's from China, I don't have an issue with that.
If I buy something from China, it's
But
Chinese. Is that not right? It's from China.
But why does he call it the China virus?
Because it
he
came from
fucking hates
China.
China.
What are you gonna call it? What are you gonna call it?
No
the
shit.
Asian virus? It came from China.
That'd be a little good.
China is listen, China is not a race. So how's that racist? China's not a race.
Okay, I understand conservatives have a really hard time understanding nuance, but you want to call it a worldwide epidemic, a China virus, because you want to associate it with Chinese people.
And we do all our business with China.
Wuhan.
Are we really racist against China?
You can
Everything in
be
this
racist
country-
and do business with someone. What are you talking about?
Well, if you're racist, you don't have to always do business with them. You don't have to be fair with them. You don't have to meet with the president. You don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Donald Trump is not racist against Chinese people. What did you?
That's not my main point.
Okay. What's your point?
My actual point
Wow,
is that how can
that's
you
good,
support
Jilly.
him
I like
when
that.
he leads an
I like that.
insurrection on the Capitol?
I never would have thought
I'm
about
sorry,
that.
you see the footage.
He lead an insurrection. What did he say to the people?
Yeah,
when,
3
before,
hours in.
No. Before anybody did anything, he said, peacefully, and patriotically let your voice be heard.
No.
Let's
It's in the middle of it.
What else he say? What does he say? What did he say?
Well, there's a plenty of things he didn't say and didn't do while they were breaking in.
Didn't.
Relax,
There's 100,000 plus people at his rally or whatever you want to call it. There was over 100,000 people.
His Pokemon
If Donald Trump
cards or
said,
some shit.
go and storm the Capitol, there would be nothing that the government could have done to stop it. 100,000 people storming the Capitol. He didn't tell people to do that. Some idiots decided they're going to do that on their own volition.
He was riling them up because he wanted them to delay the certification of the election. So Mike Pence, who doesn't endorse him anymore and has been a lifelong Republican,
which is he's terrible,
would actually stop
He
certification.
tried to run. Mike Pence ran for president, didn't he? Where did he get? He got nowhere because he's terrible. Anyway, let's just say,
What
the
does that have to do with him?
primaries
not
for the
supporting
Republican Party that was Democratic. You guys remember that?
Let's do. What you mean? He ran with him because he thought he was a good
ran
guy.
with him and he's no longer able to endorse him.
No, because he's trash. Who's doing better?
No. How? Wait. He does not endorse. A lifelong Republican won't support the Republican
They
nominee.
both ran for president again, didn't they? They both ran for president, right?
Okay.
Where's Mike Pence and where's Donald Trump?
Yeah, where's
so
Mike
who's
Pence?
trash?
No.
Who's
you're
the bad
running-
one? Who's one that's not effective? One that's not in office right now or not even running, didn't even make the debate? Come on, man. We can clearly see who's better and who's not.
Better at what? Electoral
Running the
success?
country.
Yes.
Everything.
Trump is
Running the country. Trump is leading in the polls in many different states. He's probably going to win this election.
It's a coin flip.
It's not a coin flip. They lying to you.
But I wish I could have
I
had
don't think
money
it's
to
a coin
bet the
flip.
kid.
It's been like that for probably several months.
I'm
But
going
this,
back
this
in
is
the past.
beside the point.
What's
The
your point?
reason why
I vote for Donald Trump because he's what's best for America. What is your alternative? Kamala Harris?
Kamala Harris
What has she done?
isn't pushing what is essentially
What has she done,
a
though?
massive sales tax. You know what a tariff is, right?
What has she done for the country?
No, what is a tariff? What is a tariff?
It's when you tax imports from external countries.
So Americans are going to pay more, right?
We already have tariffs in place.
Or hear me out. Hear me out. We can manufacture and sell it here. Buy America. Make America buy American. Something like that. I just can't really think right now. It's the bright lights. Big city.
Donald Trump implemented that Obama
Right,
is
but it
keeping
isn't
going. I mean, not
20%
Obama, but Biden
tariffs
is
on
keeping going.
every country. They're targeted. Even Biden had targeted tariffs, against China.
You know the
Let's
sales
disagree
tax
on
in
this.
Germany
I
is
think
like
Donald Trump has a good
22,
plan. I think what is
23%.
Kamala's plan?
Kid.
Kamala's plan, she wants to increase density. She wants to
What?
Density?
increase, yes, housing density, yes.
How?
She's gonna build 3 million new homes.
She's gonna build. She can go out there and build her own
On what land?
Not with her own hands.
What is she gonna do? How's she gonna do that? I can tell you right now.
On-
I'm gonna be the
on
president.
farmland?
I'm gonna build 40 million homes. How? How's she gonna build it? Who? He did. He
Trump's
built a
gonna
lot of the
build
wall.
every inch of that wall with his hands, with his fat 300 walrus pounds. Come on, what are you talking about?
Okay, let's have an intellectual conversation.
Okay,
if they did
that's
not,
the same logic.
if they did, if they did not reject every single opportunity he had to build a wall, we'd have built it. Now, who was right and who was wrong? Should we have built the wall or not? Look at the illegal aliens that are coming in our country. We got millions of coming in this
Who
country.
told the Republicans to stop the border bill? I want border security.
Border bill. Yeah,
I want border security.
You not
I
know
want-
what's not border bullshit? I'm
in
not
an
done
election
talking
year.
about my fucking
Why
bill.
didn't do anything?
Donald Trump makes the Republican Party weaker. I want a strong
How?
Republican Party. I want someone like Ronald Reagan to
He's
actually bring people
winning.
together.
He's got more of the black vote than any Republican in history. He's got more of the Hispanic vote than any president in history. He's got more votes and support than any Republican president in history.
He is one of the greatest con men who sold us one of the biggest lies.
He didn't
Yes.
sell me nothing, man. I ain't that
What
stupid.
lie?
I see what he's doing,
I
and
don't
he's
know
doing a
about
good
that.
job.
What lie?
Maybe you wrong.
What did he sell you?
How much did you buy the hat for? Yeah, how much is that?
I don't even remember. I got this hat a long time ago, and he signed it right here. Boom, boom. I thought he was a racist, though. Okay. Anyway, I would say this. What is Kamala Harris? Who are you going to vote for? Just
I'll vote for Kamala Harris.
why?
Honestly, it's more out of hate. It's more out of not voting for Donald
Because you don't have
Trump.
any
That's crazy.
testosterone.
That's
why.
crazy.
I don't, dude. Do you
I'm
know
going to
why
vote for
Dick
her
Cheney?
because I don't like him.
Do you
That's
know,
not true.
No. Do you know Dick Cheney is voting for Kamala Harris?
Who voted for Dick Cheney? Dick Cheney is the most unpopular Republican in history. What happened to his daughter? She got ousted and lost by 40 points.
Why is
Nobody
Dick
likes
Cheney,
him.
Why
Pro-war.
is Dick Cheney voting for Kamala
Because
Harris?
he's just like you. He
Pro-war.
hates Trump more than he loved the country. He hates Trump. He hates Trump more
loves
than he
himself
loves.
more than the country.
You can say that. The man put his life on the line. He almost got killed the other day, and he's still out there grinding. He's still out there running. Donald Trump don't have to do none of this stuff. He could be sitting on the beach, chilling with his toupee hanging to the side. He don't have to do none of this stuff. Why is he doing what he's doing? He doesn't benefit. They're trying to kill him every day. They're trying to put him in prison. Why do you think he's running for president? For him to be better? No, that's not.
Yeah,
no rational person believes that. So do what?
For bail.
Oh yeah, if they wanted to listen.
Monopoly,
Listen,
draw from the deck.
y'all getting hoodwinked.
What
If the
fuck is
man
this
was going to go to
retard talking
jail,
about?
he'd already be in jail. Why didn't they prosecute him 3 years ago? They had plenty of time to put him in jail. They had plenty of time. They knew they weren't going to never put him in
Trump
jail.
hasn't actually been convicted and thrown in jail?
They're not going to put him in jail.
He's too rich. And number one,
Who?
he is the deep state.
He's
Donald
too
J.
rich?
Trump is the deep
Did you
state.
say he was too rich?
Donald J. Trump is
Somebody
the deep
help
state.
me. You said he was too rich. You just said he was broke. And he's a comment, he having no money.
No,
but now
I
he's
said
too
his
rich.
businesses go bankrupt. That's not the same
But he's
thing.
too rich. Which one is it, my man?
No,
He's richer than
bankruptcy
George
doesn't
Soros.
mean you're not rich.
I
You
will
understand that?
Obviously, but you're saying he's a failed businessman, that he has
In
no
terms
money.
of sound business fundamentals, when he's selling his content,
What does your
scheme, yes,
business
he is
look like compared to his business?
I'm not a business owner. That's not
Okay,
how I'm
so
going
you
to make money.
probably need to sit this one out.
How are you gonna make money?
Now, what is? Then you said you're gonna vote for Kamala. You had no real reason to vote for Kamala. You said because you don't like him. That's not a good
I
reason.
mean,
That's
I
not
was
an
going to start
educational reason.
going, and then you started
Well,
making
come
a
on, give me
straw
one.
man. You
Give me
started
one.
like punching a straw man like a
No,
punching
no.
bag.
No. Give me a reason.
She wants more density. She also wants the child tax credit.
Who's gonna pay for that?
Who's going to pay for that?
Did she tell you? Not your words, her words. What did she say? Who's gonna pay for that?
Probably some form of like higher
She
taxes.
never said it. Okay, next.
You probably need to pay for that through higher taxes, yes.
Yeah,
More
higher
progressive
taxes on who? Y'all. The 1%. They've been saying this since I was a baby. We're gonna make the rich pay their fair share. Just last year, they say the wealthy are not paying their fair share. When are they gonna ever pay their fair share? It's just a lie. They just hoodwinking y'all. All these rich people voting for Kamala or supporting Kamala. Mark Cuban, Bill Gates.
What about Elon Musk, the richest man in the
Zuckerberg?
world?
But you
He
got,
is the deep state. He controls the media. He
Let's put it-
controls Twitter. He turned it into a Republican shithole.
You on
Are
it?
you on Twitter?
Are you on it?
Yeah. Absolutely, I did.
So that makes
All right,
you
all
a
right.
hypocrite.
That's funny. That was a funny one. So when you look at it, you say, if they're going to really tax the wealthy, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, and all these other billionaires, only Elon Musk is the outlier, Cuban and all them, why would they vote for them to pay their fair share? And let's talk about fair share. Why don't they pay now? Why don't they pay now? They got to wait for the government to make them do it. They can give money to the
Yeah.
Treasury. Why don't they double
You can
their
actually
taxes
add more
right
money.
now? They will never do it. Now, if you do any research, any economist will know that. Thomas Sowell lays this out very perfectly. When they cut taxes, more money is in the Treasury than when they raise taxes. And that's just the way it works, because when people see that taxes are reasonable, they're more apt to pay it. When people think the taxes are outrageous, they don't pay it. Look it up. We can put some money on it. Any economist will tell you, even the Treasury got more money under Donald Trump. A lot of friends that I got that are rich,
What
they
economist?
said they didn't benefit that much when Trump cut corporate taxes. But regardless of that, they're not gonna make them pay their fair share. And when they tell you that, you say, how? How? And why haven't you done it already, Kamala? If they're gonna pay their fair share, you're gonna make them. Why you didn't do it in 2020?
Yo,
in
he knows
21,
he just got cooked.
in 22, and 23, and 24. You still in office right now. She is the vice president right now. Make them pay their fair share right now.
The vice president has very little.
She
like, actual,
ran
like,
with
written
Joe Biden.
obligations.
They both
She-
are the
no, no,
step from the
she-
same
she-
cloth.
She's like an advisor to Joe Biden, but she doesn't actually have many
the
specific
second in
direct
command.
obligations.
That's not what she said. She said
She was
she's
the last one in the
she's been
room.
a part of all the consequential decisions. She said it on the
She's a
debate
part
stage.
of decision making. But you have to make concessions.
Somebody said it. Last
politically.
one in the room. She said you're the last one in the room in Afghanistan, and that was a terrible exit from Afghanistan. We all saw. We saw they on there with our guns and planes and stuff everywhere. These people are terrible, but they're gonna make them pay the fair share. You leaning on that. They ain't never made them pay the fair share. Rich people are never gonna pay tax unless they change the tax code. You can raise it 1%. They're just gonna raise the prices 1% on you. Well, you raise corporate tax by 20%. They're gonna raise the prices by 20%. They're not gonna pay a fair share. It's not gonna happen. And if you got a question, young lady, come to the mic. Okay, well, then
Wait,
don't
do
talk.
you pay your fair
All
share
right,
of taxes,
is that the
buddy?
last point?
Not you.
Yeah, I need just one more.
Talking
One
about
more,
the
okay.
kid.
No, I need to do some homework.
Oh, you need some homework?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
All right, have a good one.
All right, next person.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some homework, guys. All right. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted. All right. So here we are. This is the Patrick Bet David podcast, and we're gonna listen about Annie Lewis. From what the brief little bit that I didn't watch, because I haven't watched it yet. This is a blind reaction. So I really don't know what's going to be said. I really don't. So this should be fun. Be fun. And it's 2 hours of his video, but we know assholes like me like to make it drag on and on until I either finish or I get bored. So without further ado, 10-year-old spies.
I want to start off by saying this is a very disturbing, uncomfortable interview to watch. If you're watching this with your kids, they're 12, 10, 14 years old, this is not the one for them to watch. This is 18 and above. If later on you feel comfortable as a parent to have them watch it, do it. You're going to see every emotion in here. There was extreme tension in certain moments, tears, laughter, tension, debate. I had to bring my booker in, Tony, because some of the accusations that were made to clarify certain areas, and Tony came in here. Some of this, she shared some names she's never shared before. 2 of the names that she was a sex worker for, you can't even say sex worker at 10 years old. It's human trafficking. One of them she claims, who was a powerful billionaire, you know the name, that she would go to the Bilderberg event party in Europe, and she had abusers who had sex with her at 9, 10, 11 years old, and she would come back and report these stories back to the billionaire. What that information was used for, obviously your imagination can take it to wherever you want to take it. But the reason why I wanted to have this conversation, this is not a podcast you want to sit there. I can't wait to watch this one here. But I think we have to, because with the 359,000 missing children in America as of 2022, according to the FBI, what else do we need to do? Just sit around and not talk about it? No. You know what? It's just too disturbing to watch. It's just too disturbing to watch. Someone's kid is missing. Do we not bring light to it? Do we not address it? I just feel it's our responsibility. And every once in a while, I do these because I think it's our responsibility to bring attention to it. And many of the positions that she took and claims she made, multiple were prime ministers. Multiple were billionaires. These are her claims. And while we're going through it, she was pushed back on some of the claims. But I advise you to go do your own due diligence, your own research while you're going through this. At the same time, while it's not easy to talk about these types of stories, it takes a lot of courage to talk about it. I also don't want to sit there and, claim everyone's guilty. I believe innocent until proven guilty, but I believe go do your research and your own due diligence on the names that she's dropping, and that'll help you understand for yourself as well, especially if you're somebody that's interested in this specific issue as much as I am. I do think it's something that we need to bring more attention to. Having said that, enjoy this uncomfortable interview that I had with Annika Lucas.
They wanted to control everybody.
Did you ever meet him?
Meet him? Oh, yeah.
What was he like?
Horrendous.
Unpack it.
He loved being behind the scenes, creating this elite sex slave who was going to make him millions.
It's a $150 billion a year industry.
No. This is a global elite network with specific people in it, and they're not all friends. So there can be infighting happening as well.
Mind control training at 9 years old.
Yeah.
Why did they take you there?
A ritual.
Politically related or business?
No, celebrity.
You've never talked about this?
I've never said his name. I can't just flop these names out. I have to.
Would this be a person we would know?
Definitely, you would know the name.
Alive or dead?
I didn't think that this was going to be the kind of conversation we were going to have.
So the audience doesn't think I'm cornering you. You told Tony that you wanted to name names.
No, I didn't say that at all.
Come on, Tony. So when you told me, she said she wanted to name names that she's never named before.
All right, I'll tell you something. I was trained as a spy. That week, I was sleeping with men, and then I would go report on their weaknesses or their sexual preferences.
Is that
I'm not saying.
Did you ever think you would make it?
Yo, I don't know why I
feel
said
I'm
this.
supposed to taste sweet victory. I know this life meant for me.
Crazy.
Yeah, why would you bet on Goliath when we got Bet David? Valuetainment, giving values contagious. This world of entrepreneurs, we get no value to haters. How they run, homie, look what I become. I'm the one.
Okay, so today's story will be very uncomfortable to listen to, but it's a story that we all must be willing to have the courage and the toughness to listen to. Some stories you're like, man, I have so many things going on in my life. I don't want to hear a story like this, but it's happening. In America, according to the FBI, there are 359,094 entries for missing children as of 2022.
That's
we don't
just
hear a lot about
children,
it.
guys.
You know, when we had
Missing
George
immigrants.
Floyd incident, everything shut down. Every mainstream media talked about it. $2 billion of damages, local business owners. It had to be on all of our minds. But here's a question for you. 359,000 children missing. Tell me what's more important than talking about something like that. No one wants to talk about it. Why? It's uncomfortable. The audience doesn't want to hear the story. Come on, just leave it alone. Let's talk about politics and Trump and economy and all this other stuff. We chose to talk about it. And today's guest is a brave woman who has been talking about this for the last 11 years. Some of you may have heard her story before. Some of you may have not. There's certain things she's going to say today she's never said before. And that takes a lot of courage to take. But I'm looking forward to having this conversation with Annika Lucas. Thank you so much for being here with us on the podcast.
My pleasure.
So I go through the story, and for a person that reads this, you think it's a movie. You don't think it's real. When it says, trafficked as a young child at 6 years old, sold by her own mother to Belgian pedophile ring, and you counted the number of hours you were raped, that I saw, and used your words when you say this, 6 hours a week, 1,716 hours before the age of 12. I listened to that. I'm like,
God damn.
That is unbelievable to hear someone go through it, but that's your life. So if you don't mind, and I know this is not easy to do, if you don't mind taking a few minutes and sharing with the audience your story, and we'll take it from there.
A few minutes.
We'll be together for 2 hours, but the story.
Okay. Yes, essentially, my mother was mentally ill, I guess. Never diagnosed, and she was single at first, and I was abused very early on. She was married when I was 3, and then first this couple came into our lives. The woman was the cleaning lady, and she and her husband would take me on outings when I was 5. That started. And so that went on for a whole year. I didn't like them. I never wanted to go. I had to. My mother had my brother then. And after a year, they took me. They took me to an event. And it was immediately extreme. It was in a castle. It was horrific. And my mother, I tried to tell her that bad things had happened. You know, I didn't have the language, obviously. It was just around my 6th birthday. And my mother then took over from these pimps. She then started driving me to locations. She would receive a call. She would drive me. I found out later that she was paid. These were in Belgium. For 3 years, I was just trafficked in Belgium. And the head of that, I call it the network, in Belgium was the Minister of National Defense at the time, Paul van den Boenans. And he used the children to get new people in, and also to give them sometimes to really, through blackmail.
You said he was the national defense. He became a 2-time prime minister later on, right?
Yeah. What the?
So this is before he served as a prime minister.
It might have been after also. He served twice, so yeah, I'm not sure.
Could have
but he
been
was,
before and after.
Yeah.
So at this point, when this is happening to you, you know who he is, or you don't know who he is?
No, I didn't know anybody at the moment. At that time, I didn't know who anybody was. I had no idea.
How did you learn about who they were afterwards?
In my adult life.
How though?
Well, they were very easy to find. Most of them were very easy to find. I would just, if I remembered a name, and just started remembering people thanks to Google, really just starting to Google and finding them very easily.
Just the faces you would recognize, or what was the method?
Yeah. Looking for their positions. I would know whatever I had. I would type that in, and then usually they would come up right away. That was the surprise. That was the big surprise, really, that I had no idea that they were this prominent when I was a child.
And when this is happening to you at the time, they don't have a name. They're not coming to you with a name. You don't know who it is.
Well, I called him Polo. Polo, but his name is Paul. But there's other children that named him something else. So I called him Polo, and then some people I knew their first name. But yes, they're very visible. I've found out from quite a few perpetrators when they die, because then they're in the newspaper and I suddenly see their picture.
Oh. So how many of them you knew about when they were alive? You said that's this person, that's that person, when they were alive.
Well, actually, I've recognized quite a few when they died. And that's not only, I think, because I may have remembered certain things, but I may have not remembered who they were specifically to keep myself safe in some strange way. That the healing that then followed, I just understood that it wouldn't have been safe. I wouldn't have been able to keep myself safe, if that makes sense, because the healing process is so involved, and it does. There's certain perpetrators I was very attached to emotionally. I know that may be very hard to understand and believe, but I was very attached emotionally to some of these, which were like fathers.
Oh.
What was your relationship with your father like?
Well, my biological father I didn't meet until much later. I never met
That's
him.
what I've been curious about.
How old were you the first time you met him?
18. And so he didn't recognize me. And then my stepfather was the man who closed his eyes to all my mother's activities. And so my brother is his, and I think the reason my brother wasn't trafficked was maybe because
he's a boy.
He was clearly more interested in my brother. So he just really closed his eyes. But I did try to tell him, and I write that in my book, by the way. I did try to tell him, and he didn't believe me when I was a child. So my mother he was away a lot. He was a cameraman. He was traveling a lot. But when he was there, she would literally get out of their bed, and then I would be ready in my bed, and then she would let the car drive down, just let it without turning on the engine, just to be quiet. And then at the bottom of the driveway, she would start the motor, and she would drive me to events, and then she would pick me up around dawn. That was how it usually worked. And he was asleep in bed, and I thought later maybe he thought she was having affairs. She was doing that also, but he never wondered. And she made up stories also about what had happened to me. For example, at one point she started saying that I was a real tomboy, and that I was climbing in trees, which I never did, and I was not a tomboy.
What's up, Lord? How you doing, brother?
She was saying that because I was covered in
bruises, scratches.
Bruises. And so that explained it, and then he accepted whatever she said.
When your mom is dropping you off or picking you up, the first time this happened, how is she explaining to you? Like, are you pleading and saying, Mom, please don't take me anymore to a place like this? I don't want to go there. And if you said that, what did she tell you?
Uh-oh.
Well, I think my mother's a psychopath, that she really had one victim, that was me. So I was an extension that deserved all her wrath. So I have said I wasn't going to go, and she dragged me by my hair one time. But most of the time, because I was her little helper, I was trying to please her more than anything. And then my mother was extremely sadistic.
But did you ever plead and say, Mom, please don't take me today? Please don't take me today?
I said, I once said, I'm not going.
And what she tell you?
She dragged me by my hair. She would get
Mother of the
very
year.
anxious before we left. But of course I was going to go. I mean, you understand, children, you have children. So children are going to do whatever. I was doing everything to please her. I was trying. She was the person I was most attached to. So I was trying to tell myself that she loved me, because you have to know that you're loved as a child. And so I was trying to please her as much as possible. So most of the time I wasn't going to do anything against her. But there was another element, is that with my mother, because she never saw me, she just saw whatever she saw was an extension, something that just was nothing, had nothing to do with me. Because she didn't see me at all, I was receiving more reflection of things that were true about me by these pedophiles in the network, frankly, that were seeing intelligence, or they were seeing beauty. And so at times it was actually more comfortable. It was better to be in the network than to be with my mother, because that constant projection of hers was very difficult to live with.
So this entire time when she's dropping you off and picking you up, you're not controlled. Like, it's, you see it in the movies where the owner has you in a room upstairs and people come in and out and they handle their business and you're away from mom and dad. That's not the case. This is mom is dropping you off and coming and picking you up at dawn.
Yes, so it was different in that way, that my mother was not in the network herself, although she wanted to. She looked up to these people. She would have done anything to belong. But because I think her particular way that her mental illness showed, she was almost too enthusiastic. She would not have been able to keep the secret. So she didn't get in, but it was as if she was envious that I was. It was as if she was sending me in her stead, that she would have wanted that kind of sexual attention. That's really what she wanted all the time, the sexual attention.
How was her relationship with her mom and dad?
She was born in 1939, before the war. Her mother died when she was 5. Just after the war. And so her father, whom I did know, he was inappropriate. He did one thing to me that was inappropriate. So
her father, your
her
grandfather.
father. So she grew up in a town in Belgium during the war, in her early years during the war, and then lost her mother at a very early age. And I can only assume that there was sexual abuse happening, because that's how she always acted. I have gone through more than 30 years of healing from sexual abuse, all kinds of sexual abuse. And so that journey of healing, which is really, what makes me aware of these things, that's, she acted like someone who was sexually abused and never understood that she was more than that. When you get as a child, there's something that happens when you're a child and you're innocent and you're the light of God, and you are innocent, and your innocence is your true self. That's who you are. That's your light. And when you are sexually abused, it's like you feel that you've lost that innocence and that you can never have it back. There's the trauma of sexual abuse is such that, when trauma means you're going to hope, you wish that it was yesterday. If there's a big loss, you just want it to be the day before, when this hadn't happened yet. You just want to go back. With sexual abuse, it's like they steal your light. They steal your life. They steal your innocence. and you feel that you've lost it because you're a child and you don't know that you don't.
Yeah, I got to cut this short. I'll continue this from this point tomorrow when I come back, or if I come back early. So,